Class is in session. So I actually bought this whiteboard originally to make videos like this. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should make more of them. Anywho, figuring out hammer curl versus a supinated curl and what the benefits are. Both good, they just do different things, and this is when it comes back again to understanding the underlying anatomy and why these things are happening. So if we go real quick, you have scapula here. In the shoulder joint, you have the glenohumeral joint, so this is your glenoid fossa, and you have your coracobrachial, or your coracoid process, sorry. That's right here, and then those are the important landmarks. Then you have your humeral head here, and you have 2 bumps here. Your ulna, which starts out thick down here, and then gets thin down here. Then you have your radius, which has a little pivot point here, comes down, and it gets thick down here, kind of like that. So that's more or less important bony anatomy for answering this question. Now there's 2 main muscles at play here that we want to look at. You have your biceps. Biceps is bi, 2. So there's 2 heads to the bicep, and you have your brachioradialis, which is this main meat of the forearm right here. The reason why this is important is if you look at the bicep, you have the short head, which goes from that coracoid process right through here in front, nice short tendon. You have the long head of the bicep, and that's going to start inside the shoulder capsule, go out under this groove, and then fold up, around, and down here. And then both of the bicep tie into the same tendon that kind of do this thing here. So there's part of the tendon that attaches there, and then part of the tendon attaches to the radial tuberosity, which is on the inside of the radius, which is very important. The reason why that insertion point is important on the radius is because it's attached to the inside. So as you flex, as you bring this point closer to that point, it's pulling on that radial tuberosity, and it's rolling that to open it. Boop. So that is causing the activation. You can see my bicep jump when I turn my hand. That is because of that insertion point and the rotation that is causing in your wrist. The brachioradialis here, the reason why it is more active, and when you're doing hammer curls, it is a better activator of this and it uses less bicep, is because this one originates on the lateral aspect of your humerus right here. And then that inserts down here on the lateral aspect of your wrist. So you have this lateral aspect on the insertion, comes up, it originates up there. And so this muscle belly is looking more like this, because this is the anchor point and this is the anchor point. When you move those 2 things closer together, this is what happens. So hammer curl is going to be better for developing the lateral aspect of your forearm, that brachialis. It's obviously going to include bicep as well, because bicep is an elbow flexor. You're not doing this motion ever without including your bicep. Driving into supination, you're going to increase the amount that you're using your bicep because it's going to have to work harder to maintain that position. That is really the main distinction between a hammer curl versus a palm up curl. Both great, just a little bit different in application. Technically speaking, if you wanted to get from the longest stretch possible in your bicep, you would go pronation and extension. So you'd be down here. And then as you come up, you would get as short as possible by getting into flexion and supination. Down, up, down, up. But keep in mind, this elbow joint is a simple hinge. So this is the only motion that matters. So if you are getting your elbow flared out here, you're not really in alignment with that. So you're going to be starting to put unneeded tension through there. So keeping this in direct opposition to the gravity is going to be best for your joint health in general. Having palm up is going to get more bicep activation. Having neutral hand or palm down is going to be more of this brachioradialis. Cool? Cool. Let me know if there's anything else you have questions about. Drop them in the comments below.